There is a specific moment that people who cry easily know all too well. It is the moment when you feel the lump forming in your throat. The moment when your eyes start to burn. The moment when you are desperately trying to hold it in, but a single tear escapes and rolls down your cheek. Maybe it is during a movie. Maybe it is during a conversation. Maybe it is when you are listening to a song, reading a news story, or simply sitting alone in your car after a long day. And the worst part? It is the shame that comes after. You apologize. You wave your hand in front of your face, laughing nervously, saying, "I'm fine, I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm crying." You try to explain yourself to a room full of people who might be staring at you with confusion, or worse, discomfort. Society has taught us that crying is a sign of weakness. We are told to be strong. We are told to toughen up. Men are told that real men don't cry. Women are told they are too emotional or overly sensitive. Children are told to stop crying or I'll give you something to cry about. And so, we learn to suppress. We swallow the tears. We build a dam inside ourselves to hold back the flood. But let me tell you something radical today. Let me tell you something that psychology, neuroscience, and spirituality all agree on: crying is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of depth. People who cry easily are not fragile. They are not unstable. They are not broken. They are simply operating on a different emotional frequency, one that is more attuned, more alive, and more connected to the truth of the human experience. Today, we are going to explore the hidden psychology and spirituality of the easy crier. We are going to uncover what your tears are actually revealing about your mind, your heart, and your soul. By the end of this message, you will never apologize for your tears again. You will understand that crying is not your weakness, it is your superpower. The science: what happens in a tear-prone brain? Let's start with the biology. Why do some people cry at the drop of a hat, while others can watch a funeral and remain stone-faced? The answer lies in emotional regulation and neurochemical sensitivity. In the brain, there is a tiny almond-shaped structure called the amygdala. This is the command center for emotions. When you experience something emotional, sadness, joy, frustration, the amygdala fires a signal. The signal then travels to the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for thinking it through. For most people, the prefrontal cortex acts like a gatekeeper. It says, "Okay, I feel this emotion, but I am in public, so I will regulate it. I will deal with it later." But for you, the easy crier, your amygdala is highly reactive. It fires quickly and intensely. The signal is strong. And the prefrontal cortex, while functional, cannot always keep up. The emotion is simply too powerful to be delayed or suppressed. It demands to be released, now. This isn't a flaw. This is high sensitivity. You have what psychologists call a low threshold for emotional arousal. It means your nervous system picks up emotional cues faster and feels them more deeply. You are not overreacting, you are simply receiving more data. Think of it this way: most people have a dimmer switch for emotions. You have a floodlight. When you encounter something moving, your entire system lights up. Trait number 1, the hallmark of deep empathy. The first psychological trait that defines people who cry easily is profound empathy. You do not just observe suffering, you absorb it. When you watch a commercial about a neglected animal, you don't just think, "That's sad." You feel the loneliness of the animal. You feel the pain in its eyes. You take that pain into your own chest. When a friend tells you about their breakup, you don't just listen, you cry with them. You physically feel the grief as if it were your own. This is a trait called empathic resonance. Your nervous system is so finely tuned that it mirrors the emotions of the people and beings around you. This makes you an extraordinary friend, partner, and healer. You are the person people come to when they need to be truly seen and understood. But it also makes life harder. Because you don't just carry your own emotions, you carry the emotions of everyone you encounter. You walk through the world picking up invisible weights. Your tears are not a sign that you are weak, they are a sign that you are feeling too much at once. You are processing not only your pain, but the collective pain of the people you love, the stories you hear, and the world you live in. In a culture that values emotional detachment, your empathy is a rebellion. It is a refusal to become numb. And while the world might shame you for it, the truth is that the world needs more people like you, people who feel deeply, who care fiercely, and who are willing to let the pain move through them instead of hiding it. Trait number 2, the refusal to perform, radical authenticity. The second trait of the easy crier is an inability to hide their truth. You have a built-in authenticity mechanism. Many people are masters of the mask. They can be screaming inside and still smile politely at the dinner table. They can be heartbroken and still show up to work acting as if nothing happened. They have learned to compartmentalize, to fake it till they make it. But you? Your emotions refuse to be hidden. When you are hurt, your tears give you away. When you are moved, your eyes well up. When you are overwhelmed, your voice cracks. You cannot lie to the world about how you are feeling because your body tells the truth. This is not a lack of self-control, it is a commitment to integrity. Your nervous system refuses to betray your heart. It refuses to play the game of, I'm fine, when you are not fine. Your tears are your body's way of saying, this matters. This is real. In a world that values stoicism and emotional suppression, your transparency is rare. It makes some people uncomfortable because it forces them to confront their own suppressed feelings. When they see you cry, it reminds them of all the times they swallowed their own tears. But your authenticity is also magnetic. People trust you. They know you don't fake emotions. When you laugh, it's real. When you say you care, it's real. And when you cry, it's a sign that something important is happening. Your tears are your truth teller. They are your body's way of refusing to lie. And in a culture drowning in performative emotion, your rawness is a breath of fresh air. Trait number 3, the release valve, healthy emotional processing. The third trait is one that science fully supports. People who cry easily are often better at emotional processing. Tears are not a malfunction, they are a feature. They are your body's natural stress release system. When you experience emotional overload, grief, frustration, overwhelm, even joy, your body produces stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. If these hormones stay in your system too long, they become toxic. They lead to anxiety, insomnia, depression, and even physical illness. But when you cry, your body literally flushes out these chemicals. Emotional tears contain higher levels of stress hormones than reflex tears, the ones caused by chopping onions. This is why you feel lighter after a good cry. You are not just feeling better emotionally, you are chemically recalibrating. People who suppress their tears are holding toxic waste inside their bodies. They might look strong on the outside, but on the inside, they are suffering. They develop chronic stress, tension headaches, digestive issues, and emotional numbness. But you release. You are like a river that flows freely. Rivers stay clean because they keep moving. Stagnant water becomes toxic. You cry because your emotional river is flowing. You are constantly washing away the debris of daily life. This is why you often feel better after crying, even if the problem hasn't changed. You released the pressure. You honored the emotion instead of imprisoning it. Your tears are not a breakdown, they are a breakthrough. They are your body doing exactly what it was designed to do: process, release, and heal. Trait number 4, the spiritual antenna, connection to the sacred. Finally, we must address the spiritual dimension of tears. People who cry easily are often deeply connected to the sacred. In almost every religious and spiritual tradition, tears are considered holy. In Christianity, they are called the gift of tears, a sign of spiritual awakening. In Buddhism, Tears of compassion are seen as proof that the heart is softening. In many indigenous cultures, tears are offerings to the Great Spirit. Why? Because tears are the language of the soul. When you cry during a sunset, you are not just reacting to light and color. You are experiencing awe. You are touching the divine. When you cry during a prayer, you are not weak. You are connected. You are allowing the Spirit to move through you. When you cry reading a story of kindness or courage, you are not overly sensitive. You are recognizing the beauty of the human spirit. Your tears are a bridge between the physical world and the spiritual realm. They are proof that you are not just surviving, you are feeling your way through life. You are living from the heart, not just the head. People who cry easily are often old souls. You have lived many lifetimes. You have felt many things. Your tears are the overflow of a deep well of wisdom and compassion. This is why children and animals are drawn to you. They sense that you are safe. They sense that you understand the language of feeling. The shadow, the burden of being too much. But we must also address the pain that comes with this gift. Because let's be honest, being a person who cries easily can feel like a burden. You have likely been told your whole life that you are too sensitive. You have been mocked, dismissed, or pitied. You have been made to feel like your tears are a problem that needs fixing. Maybe you were the child who cried on the first day of school, and the other kids laughed. Maybe you were the teenager who cried during a movie, and your friends rolled their eyes. Maybe you are the adult who cried during a work meeting, and you saw the discomfort flash across your boss's face. You have learned to apologize for your existence. You have learned to minimize yourself. I'm sorry, I'm just emotional today. I don't know why I'm crying, ignore me. But here is the truth you need to hear, you are not too much. The world is simply too numb. We live in a culture that has become desensitized. We scroll past tragedy. We swipe past suffering. We consume violence, grief, and injustice as entertainment. The world has built a wall around its heart because feeling everything hurts. But you refused to build that wall. You stayed open. You stayed soft. And that takes immense courage. Your tears are not a weakness, they are a refusal to harden. They are proof that you are still alive, still human, still connected. The solution, reclaiming your tears. So, how do you live in a world that doesn't understand your tears? First, stop apologizing. The next time you cry, do not say, I'm sorry. Instead, say nothing. Or if you must speak, say, I'm feeling this deeply right now. Normalize your tears. Treat them as a natural part of being human, not a social crime. Second, create safe spaces to cry. You don't owe the world your tears. If you are in an environment that shames emotion, protect yourself. Save your tears for the people who honor them. Find friends who don't flinch when you cry. Find spaces, a therapist's office, a journal, a walk in nature, where you can release without judgment. Third, use your tears as information. When you cry, ask yourself, what is this telling me? What does my soul need right now? Sometimes tears are grief. Sometimes they are exhaustion. Sometimes they are joy. Listen to the message beneath the water. And finally, celebrate your empathy. The world is not suffering from too many people who feel, it is suffering from too many people who don't. You are not the problem. You are the solution. Your tears water the garden of compassion. Your sensitivity keeps the world soft. The final ritual. If this message resonated with your spirit today, if you felt a weight lift off your chest knowing that your tears are sacred, then I invite you to make a powerful declaration. I want you to signal to the universe that you reclaim your right to feel. I want you to bless your own sensitivity. Close your eyes for just a second. Imagine a younger version of yourself, the child who was told not to cry. Imagine walking up to that child, kneeling down, and saying, Your tears are beautiful. They are proof that you love deeply. Never apologize for them again. Feel the relief. Feel the permission. And to seal this intention, go to the comments below and write these simple words. My tears are sacred. Let those words be your vow. Let them be the moment you stop hiding your heart and start honoring it. You are not weak. You are water. And water is the most powerful force on earth. It carves canyons. It nourishes life. It cleanses. It heals. Thank you for sharing your energy with me today. Cry when you need to. Laugh when you can. And know that every tear you shed is a prayer, a release, and a reminder that you are beautifully, courageously alive. Until next time, honor your heart.